Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Catching Up. I'm your host, Jack Smith, joined today by Vrisan Dubey from the Mitty men's tennis team. Thanks for coming and catching up with us, Vrisan.
Thank you for having me, Jack. Looking forward to having a good conversation.
So I wanted to start by asking you, how did tennis become an integral part of your childhood and thus your life?
So for me, tennis was it was kind of like a little weird. So I started, I would say around third grade, but it was more like my parents signed me up. And I had like these couple of school friends from elementary school who were going to go to the same class as me. And basically what would happen is that once we started going, these friends and our family, one of our families would end up picking us up at the end of the day and taking us back to somebody's house. And that for me, when I just started playing, that was the what I look forward to most rather than the tennis class. Like as we move forward, they started to not participate in the class anymore, and it was more um, it was more me looking forward to tennis uh, rather than actually hanging out with them after the class was over. So slowly I kept playing and found more professional coaching, and now we're here now on the Mitty's team.
What were some of the things that you remember from those days, hanging out with your friends and, in the car back and at their houses? What are some of the things that you distinctly remember from those times?
Okay, so we used to play this card game called Yu-Gi-Oh. We used to play that, and we used to be really competitive. So I would keep my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in my backpack or something that I used to take to the class, and we would play for like an hour or two. And it would be terrible when one of our parents came to pick us up from that friend's house because we couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
I think that's pretty amazing that led to kind of you developing a love for tennis. What was in
Yeah.
your head, though, as you entered Mitty and became a Mitty tennis player and a Mitty student?
Yeah, so obviously I was playing some tournaments here and there before MIDI, but I really hadn't. I didn't really have a proper way to gauge how my level against my peers, other than those couple of tournaments. So when I came to MIDI, I was hearing stories of how we have some super excellent players already, and we were getting some more really good players coming in with me when I was a freshman. So when I got to tryouts, I was kind of really nervous that I want to play tennis. I've been playing tennis like unofficially since third grade, but so I really want to make the team, and that was just my mindset: make the team and hopefully grow more integral to the team as the years moved on.
What were you able to gauge from those freshman tryouts?
So on on the freshman team. So on freshman year when I tried out, there was a JV team actually. So there was only a couple spots on varsity, maybe like three, two or three, or maybe four. But I wasn't as skilled enough at that time to be one of those top three players to make it on varsity. So I actually started playing at Mitty on the JV team. So I was actually the second player on the JV team. So um, I knew I still had to improve to make it on varsity the next year. And with the news that at the end of freshman year that they were not going to have a JV team sophomore year and beyond, that it really added the extra pressure on top of me that I needed to get better that summer in order to make the next leap into varsity.
What did that pressure lead you to? Did it motivate you? Did it push you over that off season?
Yeah, the off season, I remember I was playing a lot with my coach. We were just we drill, like make sure my shots are smooth, make sure they feel good for me, and also just like playing a lot. Just being comfortable with the sport, being comfortable mentally, winning or losing. Um, that's what I did that off season. Just a lot of playing, a lot of gaining more experience. Yeah.
I think the mental side of tennis is something that's not talked about a lot, and a lot of just casual sports fans don't know a lot about. Could you dive just a little bit further into that?
Yeah, of course. Um, I would of course, a casual spectator or like just even a spectator would see like the professionals that they serve really fast and they're able to hit the ball super well. They're super athletic, but the other half of the game is actually inside their mind. What really separates like for the super good from the good is uh, being able to have like a super strong mentality. Like when you're playing a game, normally, unless you're playing doubles, um, it's just you versus the opponent. And it's just all like half of the game is mind games. Like, can you attack their weakness? Do you know what their weakness is? How do you exploit their weakness so that you can gain more momentum? But also, you have to gauge when you're winning. What are you doing well? How is your opponent responding? Is he showing emotion? Is he getting angry? Or is he calm, collected? All these things you have to gather and compute in your mind during the game. So that's what you don't see, but it's actually a really prevalent part of the sport.
And you worked on that all off season, obviously. What happened after that off season, going into what would be your sophomore year?
Yeah. So I that year that off season, as I was training with my coach, I was also playing a lot of tournaments, trying to get my rating up. And after tryouts, I was kind of bittersweet. So what really happened was I made the team, but in tennis, how it works is there's four singles, three doubles. So if you do the math, that's 10 people. 10 people get to play, and I was listed as the 11th. So I was one spot off from playing every game. So technically, I was an alternate. So I was missing games here and there because I wasn't on the top 10. So I had to keep practicing. Obviously, I really want to play. Like I really wanted to play. Like I'm on the team. I want to play. I'm not. I didn't want to just practice because I want to see it happen in a match. So I think as the year went on, an opportunity opened itself for me, and I got to play on the team as the 10th player on sophomore year, and it was a great experience. Um, I
What
was
were some of
playing
the
with
things
yeah,
What were some
yeah,
of the
go ahead, go ahead.
things that kept you up, while you were the 11th player? What kinda got you through that and then allowed you to seize that opportunity once you got there?
Yeah, so I mean, in so many other sports, basketball, football, you always hear the next man up mentality. Like in tennis, it's not you don't hear that much. Like normally, it's individual or doubles. It's not really team. You don't really hear a lot about team tennis. But in team setting, it's always next man up. And in this case, I was next man up, and I kept practicing. I knew that if I kept practicing, maybe I was lucky that it was sophomore year, but I knew an opportunity can come anytime, maybe even junior year, as late as junior year. So I just kept practicing. There's nothing else I could do. I just needed to make sure that I was always ready for any opportunity.
And when the opportunity presented itself, what did you do and how did it work?
Yeah, so I ended up playing with so I was a sophomore. I ended up playing with a freshman. His name is Gabe. And I think we performed really well. We only had a limited time together because obviously I was inserted mid-season. So I tried to take advantage of the opportunity. I tried to show my energy all the time. Maybe I wasn't the most skilled player, but I tried to really make my value felt on the team.
And that's really what this series is about, is showing the levels of effort that, sometimes you don't see from the most talented players. Sometimes that the players who aren't the most talented have the most heart, and it seems like you obviously have that. And then what happened moving into your junior year, as well as up to this moment? How has that journey gone?
Yeah, so junior year was probably the most straightforward year. Other than that, we had a coaching change. So nothing was guaranteed because The coach had only seen a handful of us play before, and so again, nothing was guaranteed. My spot on the team wasn't guaranteed again, but this time I made the team again. Um, this time as an actual player on the top 10. So um, that was really good. We were actually doing super good junior year. I think we started off undefeated in our league, and we just come off a win against Bellarmine, and then COVID struck, and COVID did its thing.
What effect did that have on you?
That was super discouraging actually. Um, I I mean we were riding our highs, and we were doing so well, and then we actually had a big tournament coming up, and then I think I was sitting in my WAP class, and then we got the email that, oh, this one person from this school tested positive, and then we had to cancel our match, and then we got another email that um I think it was the place where the tournament was being hosted, or somewhere near that. I'm a player from another high school tested positive, so I think it was super discouraging. I was looking forward to being like playing this whole season as an actual like an actual starter, and it just got cut short.
Yeah, in what ways
Over
did
the
it affect
summer,
your off season too? You were kind of
yeah,
thrust
yeah.
into the off season early. Were you able to still get the normal work you were able to do and get that done?
I wouldn't say so. I think for me, I tried to play it safe most of the time. So I actually had to take a break from tennis because of COVID. There's not a lot of options for tennis because you need a court basically, and you need so an option is going to a um, public court with a park, but I don't know if I was willing to. Me and my family, I don't know if we were willing to take that risk going to a public place. And my coach has courts, but he actually stopped doing lessons for a while out of his own safety. So I think then it was just more of me trying to take the initiative to keep myself in shape outside of tennis. Uh, and so being thrust into off season early was not very. I wouldn't say it was super nice. I wasn't really happy with it, but life happens, and you just got to be on top of everything.
And what happened when you came out of the break? Did you find you had to kind of, refuel your skills that you had in the past, or was it more of a seamless transition?
No, it wasn't very seamless because for me it was pretty. It turned out to be, as for all of us, it turned out to be a time more time than we expected. Like I was hoping for maybe like a couple weeks, turned into a couple months. So obviously I came in a little rusty with my shots, but now I'm trying to go 3 times a week during school, um, and with my coach, play with my coach, and get back to where I was before. Obviously, it was kind of frustrating to see that when I got on the court the first time, I felt I had lost so much, but slowly everything's starting to come back, and I'm trying to get ready for this upcoming season.
And about this upcoming season, the last thing I'll ask you, what are some of the goals that you have, both individually, personally, and as a team for this next upcoming season in your last year?
Yeah, so individually, I want to play singles. I started off JV playing singles. Then the second year I was playing doubles when I got the opportunity, and then this last year I was playing doubles too on my junior year. But now kind of want to take that step forward into playing singles. Um, I think it would be a really good like completion of that circle, except at a higher level. Um, I'm training, trying to get that single spot. I think I'm just getting more experience in games. I've been playing with my coach, trying to build that both that side in tennis, that physical side and the mental side. As for the team, obviously our goal is to win CCS. Um, I don't think I'm not sure if it's been done ever in Mitty's history, or maybe it's happened a couple of times, but um, that would be our goal for the season. And obviously, as a goal for any sport, is just to go out there and have fun.
Well, yeah, I wish you and your team success. And to wrap it up, is there anything else that you want to touch on or talk about before we wrap it up?
Not really. I just hope our season happens. Um, things have been going. Things started to look good. Now they're trending in the opposite direction. So I hope we can get a. I hope we can at least get a season, and that would be the biggest goal. I would say to at least have a season. But I just want to be the best player I could be, and at the same time be the best person I could be.
Yeah, I know every athlete's hoping and praying that they get a season. I hope we have sports too. Obviously, it's a big part of my life and everyone's life really around the Mitty community. So we hope we get some sports. And if you get out there, I want to wish you good luck. I hope you succeed. I hope the team succeeds. And I just want to say thanks for coming and catching up with us, Rasan.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a blast. I don't think I've ever done something like this before. It was good to let my thoughts out and tell you my story.
Of course, I'm glad you got the chance to.